Many men are unknowingly sabotaging their fat loss every single day, and it has little to do with diet quality or workout intensity. After coaching thousands of men from over a decade in the industry and reviewing all of the research, I've seen the same pattern repeatedly. Guys who track macros, train consistently, and still fail to lose body fat. And in this video, we'll look at an overlooked variable that directly controls your metabolism's efficiency and how one simple structured habit can unlock it. So if you care about physiology more than fads, this framework will help you approach fat loss with a systemized approach that actually works. You see, the standard fat loss model, calories in versus calories out, is directionally correct, but incomplete. It doesn't emphasize enough the metabolic cost of inactivity between workouts. Most people perform one intense exercise session, then sit for 10 or more hours each day. This pattern, known as the active couch potato effect, limits many of the benefits of exercise. Prolonged sedentary time decreases muscle glucose uptake, mitochondrial activity, and fat oxidation, even in trained individuals. In simple terms, sitting down all day is killing your progress, both indirectly and in many ways directly too. Step count data show that the average American takes fewer than 5,000 steps per day. In contrast, populations such as Japan and Switzerland average 6,000 to 8,000 or more, and their obesity rates are less than half of the United States. This difference is not genetic, it's behavioral. Daily low-intensity movement keeps their metabolic machinery active all day through better insulin sensitivity, improved mitochondrial density, and continuous energy expenditure. The main issue isn't that you lack workouts, it's that you lack motion between them. Metabolism adapts to your dominant state. Long sedentary periods shift the body toward carbohydrate dependence and fat storage. Frequent movement resensitizes muscle tissue to insulin, maintains mitochondrial function, and increases fat oxidation. The simplest and most sustainable solution? Walking. It's the unsung hero of fat loss results, but let's look at 5 evidence-backed mechanisms through which walking enhances fat loss. Mechanism number 1, walking after meals to stabilize blood glucose. Post-meal walking significantly blunts glucose spikes and lowers insulin. Why this is important is because when blood glucose is high, so is insulin. And when insulin is high, not only do we create inflammation throughout the body, but the process known as lipolysis, which is the breakdown of triglycerides of fat from the fat tissue, is completely blocked. And it will only be restarted once insulin levels have normalized. And interestingly, DiPietro et al. Showed in a 2013 diabetes study that 3 15-minute walks after meals improved 24-hour blood glucose more than a single 45-minute session. Another study showed that even 2-minute movement snacks every 30 minutes reduce post-meal glucose significantly as opposed to when sedentary. This shows that every bit of movement counts. Walking and movement in general has the powerful benefit of increasing glucose transport into the muscle cells independent of insulin, preventing energy from being stored as fat and allowing for fat burning. Here's a simple framework. Walk 10 to 15 minutes after each major meal. This one habit improves glucose control, reduces cravings, and helps sustain fat oxidation. It will also support healthy gut motility. Then simply aim for 2 to 5 minute movement breaks where you get up from your desk and just move your body. This will create an optimal environment for fat loss. Mechanism number 2, walking restores what is called metabolic flexibility. Metabolic flexibility is the capacity to switch between burning carbohydrates and fats efficiently. Prolonged sitting impairs this mechanism, whereas low-intensity walking helps restore it. In particular, fasted aerobic sessions were found in various studies to increase reliance on fat oxidation pathways, improving mitochondrial enzyme activity and metabolic efficiency. This basically means your body just gets better at prioritizing fats over other fuel sources. It is important to be aware though that fasted cardio doesn't directly lead to more fat loss than normal cardio, but the long-term effects on metabolic flexibility can certainly help. Here's what works really well for me and my clients. Add a 20 to 30 minute morning walk before breakfast as part of your morning routine. This will retrain your metabolism to access fat for fuel. Mechanism number 3, walking reduces cortisol and improves stress recovery. Chronic psychological stress elevates cortisol, promoting visceral fat accumulation, systemic inflammation, and poor insulin sensitivity. This is a huge problem with men today, as we see on so many blood panels every single day, with many living in chronically stressed states. But moderate walking, particularly when done outside in nature, activates parasympathetic tone and reduces cortisol levels, as proven in one 2010 study by Hamer. Chronically elevated cortisol and inflammation are a big problem problem when it comes to fat loss. So here's my recommendation here. Take a 15 to 20 minute decompression walk outdoors after work or between high stress blocks. This single behavior signals the body that it's safe to resume fat mobilization rather than storage. And remember, the body and mind function optimal in bouts of 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, productivity and focus declines. So by taking a few minutes break every 90 minutes, you'll actually get far more focused work done because you'll be spending your time more optimally. Mechanism number 4, walking elevates NEAT. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and this represents all of the movement outside of formal exercise and can vary by over 2,000 calories per day between individuals. Increasing your step count expands this energy budget without taxing recovery. A 1-year study in Japanese obese males found that daily step increases were directly correlated with visceral fat reduction and improved insulin sensitivity. What most people don't realize is that you will typically burn way more calories through walking frequently than you will from an intense gym session. So set yourself an 8 to 10,000 step target each day on average. If you don't quite hit it one day, make up for it the next day by doing more. The benefit comes from consistency, not perfection. Mechanism number 5, walking enhances sleep and recovery. This is a massively overlooked aspect of fat loss. Quality sleep regulates leptin, ghrelin, and growth hormone, the hormones that control appetite and fat metabolism. Evening walks lower sympathetic activity, improving sleep onset and depth as stated in Passos 2010 study, Sleep Medicine. Here's what you should think about doing. Replace 1 hour of evening screen time with a 20-minute easy walk to prepare the body for deeper sleep and better overnight fat oxidation. This will change the game for you. Now, a big topic in the industry right now is something called the Japanese walking technique, which is a very specific form of interval walking training, IWT. This technique was developed at Shinshu University. Interval walking training alternates 3 minutes of brisk walking with 3 minutes of slower walking repeated for around about 30 minutes. With this style of walking, the evidence showed that we see huge improvements in VO2 max, lower body strength, blood pressure, and visceral fat reduction more effectively than just continuous walking. Follow-up trials confirmed benefits in older adults, demonstrating both its safety and potency. The brisk walking intervals temporarily elevate heart rate and muscular oxygen demand, increasing fat oxidation during the slower recovery phases while stimulating cardiovascular adaptation. So here's what it looks like in practical terms. Warm up for 2 to 3 minutes at a light pace, then alternate 3 minutes brisk walking with 3 minutes relaxed light walking for around about 5 cycles. Do this for 3 to 4 sessions weekly in addition to or as part of your daily walks. Now, I want to quickly talk to you about the importance of circulatory and lymphatic flow, a massively overlooked pathway to fat loss. 2 systems determine how efficiently your body transports nutrients and clears metabolic waste: the vascular system and the lymphatic system. Firstly, let's look at blood flow, which plays key roles in delivering oxygen, nutrients, and also metabolizing fat. Walking causes rhythmic muscle contractions that act as a secondary heart, improving venous return and capillary perfusion. Enhanced blood flow delivers more oxygen and catecholamines like adrenaline to adipose tissue, facilitating lipolysis. Better perfusion also improves mitochondrial oxygen supply, increasing fat oxidation efficiency. More reason to just get up off your seat and move more. Then there's lymphatics flow, the system responsible for clearing waste and lowering inflammation. Unlike blood flow, lymph has no pump. It relies on movement and breathing. Sedentary time slows lymphatic flow, impairing detoxification and immune regulation. Muscle contractions during walking mechanically propel lymph fluid through the body, accelerating clearance of waste and inflammatory molecules. Improved lymph flow reduces systemic inflammation and supports insulin and leptin sensitivity. It also enhances absorption and transport of dietary fats and fat-soluble vitamins via chylomicrons. To keep lymph fluid active, avoid sitting for longer than 60 minutes at a time. Stand or walk briefly every hour, even if it's just for 1 minute. Practice deep nasal breathing during walks to support thoracic lymph flow. Gentle arm swings engage lymph nodes in the limbs, promoting upper body drainage. And something that a lot of people miss with lymph work is to ensure you stay hydrated at all times. Lymph flow depends on adequate fluid volume. Over time, improved circulatory and lymphatic flow reduces inflammatory burden, enhances nutrient transport, and creates a metabolic environment where fat loss can occur efficiently and sustainably. Now that we've covered the biology, let's look at how we can integrate a simple framework into your life. Here's how to combine these elements into a structured week. A daily baseline might look like this: 8 to 10,000 steps total, 10 to 15 minutes walking walking after each meal, 20-minute easy walk before bed, fasted morning walks 2 to 3 sessions weekly for 20 to 30 minutes each, Japanese interval walking 3 to 4 sessions weekly, alternating brisk and slow phases for around about 30 minutes. Then movement snacks every 30 to 60 minutes of sitting, move for at least 2 to 3 minutes. This simple framework maintains glucose stability, stimulates fat oxidation, enhances circulation, and manages stress hormones. 4 pillars of a responsive metabolism. Now let's quickly cover some of the most frequently asked questions when it comes to this topic. Does walking burn enough calories per minute? No, but the cumulative physiological effects, lower insulin, higher NEAT, better sleep, lower inflammation, compound far beyond what basic calorie math captures. Can walking replace cardio? For metabolic health and fat loss, yes. High intensity work can be added later for cardiovascular performance and additional health benefits, but walking forms the base layer. Do I need 10,000 steps every day? No. Health benefits appear at 7,000 to 8,000 steps, and even intermittent increases improve outcomes. Consistency outweighs perfection. Is the Japanese walking technique safe for older adults or joint pain? Absolutely yes. It was designed and validated in participants averaging 60 years plus and is lower impact than jogging. To conclude this training, fat loss resistance isn't always about simple willpower or macro tracking. It's often about disrupted physiology. Too much stillness, too much stress, too little rhythm. Walking changes the body's physiological environment into one that is far more optimal for fat loss in the long term. When applied strategically, post-meal, fasted interval, restorative, walking transforms fat loss from a battle of effort into a process of alignment. It just happens naturally. If you found this training valuable, please hit subscribe for more trainings on how to optimize health and well-being as a man over 35, and leave a comment with any questions and I'll be sure to get an answer over to you. For now though, continue on to the next video where I take you through the exact process of how to take your body fat levels to 10% or below in the fastest and most streamlined way possible.